the cradle of great transformations over the centuries. This is the European continent. The land, once marked by vast empires, received a word that crossed invisible borders, withstood storms, persecutions, and long periods of silence. Generations have passed, and the story that spanned a continent reached another. Until that, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, an American couple was reached by something that had started to be expressed centuries before them. Bud and Jan Wright received a mission: take the word of faith to set the people free. And who would these people be? While they were being trained at Rhema, they learned. It was in Brazil that what they had received would be passed on to others. But what had started in a single nation gained strength, took shape, and spread through cities, regions, nations, until it was sown back into the continent where it all started. In 2005, the Word of Life arrived in Europe for the first time. In 2009, something else was being added. The Word of Life wasn't, going only to Brazil, but to all nations. That was when the Apostle Bud foresaw the expansion. Now, 20 years later, there are 90 missionaries spread all over the world. 37 of them are on European soil, reaching out to 12 nations. There are 31 active churches, many of them as a fruit of Verbo Connect, a project that was born during the pandemic with the aim of connecting people from different backgrounds in simple ways. One of the most relevant fronts of missionary work in Europe is the volunteer work. Our churches are present in multiple scenarios, with emphasis on their massive work in the social area. In Scotland, we have developed a project focused on restoring lives and social reinstatement. In Portugal and France, the message of the gospel is shared in a very creative and dynamic way, going beyond the walls of the church. Constant evangelistic actions reach the external public on a large scale. Also, the first healing center was opened in the European continent. Portugal was the country that opened the doors to embrace such a special vision. In England, creative outreach work has been outstanding. Our missionaries work with specific strategies to reach the Muslim people. And a discipleship program has been started with the Iranian people, the fruit of this efficient and sensitive work. In addition, the missionary presence is also found through the teaching of the Word. There is a Word of Life Bible School in Europe that has already reached 16 nations through its 4 classes, providing knowledge of the Scriptures to the European people. The future is clear. More languages, more countries, and more people reached. Because the message that was born in Jerusalem reached Antioch and crossed the ocean, drives Word of Life, and continues to transform Europe, rewriting stories with the word of faith and love.